giant amount of the player base, and I guess we need to talk about this.
So,
and all of it got to do with Sanji, which is a VTuber agency that is doing across the world right now.
before I keep going on, boycotting this scratch ticket, it's either whoever's choice, because I don't hate on people that do scratch, because they might not know what's going on. They might not hear or see VTubers, or they just have their normal life going on and issues, so they probably don't have enough time. So be respectful for anyone that does or don't want to support it. And if you are supporting it, that's good on you. So just keep, just keep the love going on for each and everyone and one another. And if you're supporting the VTubers as a whole, support them. And if you're supporting content creators, support them as well. And if you don't know about it and you're just starting, just, everyone should just be respectful and not being toxic about one another or detox anybody. That's not cool. It ain't right. Oh, and another thing too, we don't know as the viewers or gamers that the company's detoxing the person. That I'll explain in a bit after.
Now inside of PSO2 New Genesis,
he keeps speaking about it.
Boycott don't really have anything to do with Sega stuff that might come in the future, especially if Ninja Sanji is around.
And yeah, before he continues on, in the future collabs, if you want to support it or you don't want to, that is up to you. Not anybody else, not any VTuber or content creator. It's your choice. Remember that. You guys are number one. You guys say what you want to support, what you don't want to support. You guys have voices too. Not just me. I'm starting. I'm a little guy right now. There's people out there that probably has more viewers, more subscribers. It's you guys as viewers and players. Is your guys' choice to keep doing and supporting games or anime, content creators, so on and so forth, or singers, movies, actors, whatever. We have the power. Us gamers has the power. Us viewers that is watching entertainment, we have the power. Not them. They just making content or entertainment, whatever it is, they are doing it because they love it and like to do what they're doing, or they just want to make money. Either way, we are supporting them for they could grow. So as of now, I'm doing it for fun, and I would like to grow too, and maybe get supported by anybody, so I could develop certain things and projects that I want to do for gamers, content creators, and someone that wants certain entertainment and just want to enjoy a little privacy of this big world that we are in, the chaotic world, we should say. But as of now, I'm gonna start small before, one step at a time. Let's continue.
Let alone if say whoever the subject we're gonna be talking about here in that area, that is happening right now. What is happening?
Let's see.
So
And you might hear that I'm fast forwarding.
Just keep in mind here that we all gonna have to travel a little bit back in time for it to actually make sense of why the whole PSO crossover is such a very hot topic right now inside the community, and the community itself is very torn on this. So going back to the beginning of all this, for any of you who are not aware, is of course this all started with a VTuber talent by the name of Taki, and the relationship with Niji Sanji, as well as, of course, some of you might know them now, or previously before they signed with Niji Sanji as a Doki board. So what ended up happening here was to start off as a very, for the most part, pretty straightforward event that was, of course, Taki wanting to release a music video, which is not unheard of from VTubers. And of course, with the release of that, ended up finding out that the music video itself was not greenlit by Niji Sanji and was completely done out of pocket with the help of viewership to create this music video, with Niji Sanji copywriting striking the video within 24 hours and getting it removed off YouTube. And of course, Taki ended up putting out a statement letting everyone know what is happening there. Also letting people know if they want to re-upload it, go for it. But
let's see. Her letter or message says, "Hello, I apologize, but management has privated the song. Please feel free to re-upload since a lot of money and effort was done by so many dragons. I'm really sad that this happened on Christmas, but I hope somehow you guys will still be able to listen to it in some ways."
With that being said, I imagine that probably didn't last too long, especially since the original video got copied.
So she did her stuff out of pocket. Why cannot the company like pay it back to her? If, let's say, they have a little situation going on, or something going on in the company itself, right? And they're like, "We'll pay you back, but can you do it out of pocket for now, and we'll reimburse you plus interest what you did for like songs, or in this collab, for example, and video and things like that." There must be a lot of people that put effort of helping her out to do her things. Why the company just like, "Okay, you did this much work, we apologize and thank you for it. Here goes the reimburse plus interest what you have done, and we'll pay you for that." Why can't they just end it there? Boom, done deal, seal the deal. Because there are certain people there living day by day of what they earn from YouTube or streaming, so on and so forth. But let's continue.
Rewrite it. More than likely, it probably did. In other places, once again, I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me know in the comment if that's something that ended up happening for the fan base as a whole. And from there, only a few days later, ended up after Taki kind of ended up vanishing a little bit and not really doing anything. There was a tweet from her. Ended up putting out a statement saying, "I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident. and we'll be staying there for a few days.
Okay, hold on. So this text said as well as he has shown. I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident and will be staying there for a few days to be unsupervisioned. I just got back access to my phone yesterday. Huh. Okay. She don't need to apologize for that. And we're happy that she's okay. She's been in the hospital because of an accident. So going back to first part of honor and if it's true or not, what if they didn't like what she said? So she's ruining their honor, their persona, their image of Ninji Sanji. And just by that itself, the information that I'm thinking, so this is going to be a theory or just brainstorming, that there are going to be a few content creators that doesn't like what she's been saying to the company itself, or the company didn't like what she said, and they cannot do anything for any circumstances due to the contract. They paid hush hush money, or they made certain VTubers try to make her quit, and so they won't fire, quote unquote. And they couldn't pull her back because her voice is pretty loud and strong. So if they live close by or a few minutes away, or a state away, whatever they live in. I'm not saying if they live in Japan or whatnot. I don't know. I don't go to that further extent detail. So I'm just assuming and thinking out loud that what if that one of the code workers or side people that they hired to try to get rid of them, but not take them out, just cause an accident. And if they cannot hang on to their dear life, it's their issue. So I don't know how crazy of these companies are, from Niji Sanji, Hollow, or Vishojo, because they were new to me. I just barely learned about them, and I think in around 2020. So it's not that long. We all learned it from that time, or maybe they started way before. But these new companies that try to make these VTubers, big like an idol, and they have some sketchy things that they would do to maybe harm if they don't get their way, or the country way, we could say, because in Asia, for an example, they believe in honor, and certain other countries, but we're just focusing in Asia right now, that focus on honor, disrespectful, and the old ways. There are certain places that are coming around and focusing on modern generation and now. But I'm not, you know, picking on certain countries. No, just what is going on right now. And just to give people an idea. So it could have been that someone did something and caused an accident or push her to the point of that her limits, and she exhausted her patience, and they backed her up in the corner, and maybe she went suicide or trying to attempt, or like I said, an accident, you know, quote unquote, air quotes, that made her do something and plop. Who knows? I don't know. It's just a theory and wild thinking out loud. Because to me, I don't give a shit about any company whatsoever, wherever company they may be. Because I focus on me and gamers. We the people. We are strong. We could do something about things. So I'm a neutral person, but I will call people out. I will call companies out if they are wrong or if they're right. Sometimes I'm wrong or sometimes I'm right. Or like half and half. But I'm not gonna go back on like if I become someone big, right? Or I have a how do you call those? Sponsors. I want to judge a certain sponsor or companies if I was doing a box opening or something. I want to say it how it is, but also be fair. Not lie to my teeth that, oh, this product is nice, this is wonderful, and you guys should buy it. Here we go. Enjoy. Here's a promo code. We'll start la la la. And just because then it would show me that I'm fake and whatever I'm partnering with is going to be fake too. No, I don't want that. I want something that works for myself, that works for me 100%, that I can say, this works really good. And this works for the meantime. It's decent, you know. And there is no perfect product. There's only great product. Oh, this one is amazing. This is good. This is decent. And, oh, this product's shit, you know. Not to say to certain companies, oh, this is garbage. I don't want to sell these. Yeah, I don't want to sell these. I'm not going to focus on those type of products. Only if it works for me, works for my friends and family, I will recommend those type of products to my people, the viewers, and anybody else that watches my content, that subscribes or not, or put thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't really care in that point. I want that whatever works for me, family, friends, people that I got acquainted with, or as a content creators or viewers, I want it work the same way it works for me, the same way it works for everyone. If it don't, why, you know, bring it up and give it to people? Only if you want to make a quick buck, you know. That ain't me. But let's go on.
To be under a supervision. I just got asked content with the phone is, of course, you know, obviously the least important thought for me is, of course, something bad happens along the lines of either a accident to the point of not being able to use the phone at all, or well, the whole suicide stuff come in is, of course, self-harm. That is very common of, well, people who are in the hospital or self-harm. You Usually we'll have the stuff removed for a couple of days, but at the time of the tweet, it was very much just up in the air, and it was hearsay at that point. But just 2 weeks
say he and she
after
said.
Akatsuki were released from the hospital, Ninja Sanji official US branch ended up putting out a statement.
I hope she has proof.
An anime convention by the name of Anime Impulse, and their statement read as such: due to unforeseen reason, we would like to announce that Taki will not be able to participate in any activity at Anime Impulse in Los Angeles 2024 on January 13th to the 14th. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience and disappointment caused to fans who have been looking forward to this. We hope that you will enjoy the performance by other Ninja Sanji EN rival, which rivals the Jumbo Form to the VTubers, who are participating in Ninja Sanji EN block party at Anime Impulse. Anime Impulse will direct contact all of Tatsuki meet and greet ticket holders in regard to a ticket refunds. So,
Interesting.
At this point, which made obvious sense at that point 2 weeks after being released from the hospital. The thing to keep in mind at that point, still, not really anyone is aware of what exactly was happening with Taki themselves directly. So, it could honestly be something at the time that could be as easily of them still recovering or still injured from whatever assumed happened for them to be in the hospital. But as I think most of you probably understand with our warning, obviously that type of injury is a little distant here, but nonetheless, the English branch ended up releasing this 2 weeks after the fact. And the other thing to keep in mind during this whole time, of course, Taki haven't made any announcement beyond the earlier statement about the hospital itself. So as you imagine, from the fan base going that long without any communication, and the fourth sign of communication is from Ninja Sanji. They thought, of course, bringing in any more question on top
that
of
must be rough.
That was already being asked before then. But overall, the fan base of Taki was pretty understanding, and of course, just hoping for the best for to come back. But from there, we do jump forward a little bit, another 2 weeks, which at that point we are months out from the original tweet that Taki ended up posting about getting out of the hospital, and the announcement from Ninja Sanji. And of course, from here, as you imagine, people are starting to become more and more worried here. And then on top of that, what not helping this whole situation is, of course, other VTubers that she have worked with and collaborated with would not comment on it, as well as some of her own friends in the industry, and friends in general, did not hear anything from her at all. So as you can imagine, this is already very quickly starting to raise some alarms, and a lot of people is very much starting to extremely worry about her well-being as a person here. And around that time is when the hashtag of acting well she is pretty much started trending within the community for Ninja Sanji and the VTuber community as a whole here when it comes to becoming more and more not only worried, but also more demanding of trying to figure out what exactly is happening here and why is nobody actually talking about this. But with all of this happening, and once again, outside of the statement of for Anime Pulse, nothing had been said when every single social media thing that was tied to Taki went pretty much private. So Twitter went private, all the YouTube videos ended up being private, that including the live stream, the VODs, everything.
So maybe just to think outside of the box for a little bit. I don't know if she's doing it to make it private or the company, Ninja Sanji. Because since they own every right from the VTubers that works for them, they probably have everyone's passwords of whatever site that they go. So they have, like, let's say the master key. So they have the right to use it, and they have a code or password from their own, but the company has the master key of each and every one, so they'll have the same copy of the password of, let's say they could log in as them, and like, okay, since you're not cooperating, we're gonna shut it down, but make it private due to no viewers or yourself can get into. Or she didn't, or anyone doesn't do that, that it's gonna be the owner itself that created that, and they had to put it private due to legal reasons or illegal reason, whichever one, for they could the process of their lawyering up. So whichever side is gonna win or take hold due to, like, I don't, if she's fired or she's leaving. But yeah, let's go on.
Absolutely just disappeared. The channels were still around, but nothing on them channels could be viewed beyond the header for them accounts. And when this is all happening and people starting to realize this is going down, that is when Ninja Sanji ended up putting...
So I'm just brainstorming and really thinking on the situation that is going on.
A release and a press release, a tweet, pretty much all the social stuff announcing that Taki have been terminated from Ninja Sanji. And not only is this announcement is huge news.
So she's been terminated. Oh. So maybe my theory has been valid due to the honor situation, that since she's still alive, thank goodness, but in their eyes they're like, rats, damn it. So we both have to lawyer up and things like that, and I don't know, from that point, or I'm saying too much, it's worse for both sides. I don't know, because I'm looking at it as my viewpoint on when I first worked at a retail store, and my issues in that, and my pros and cons of it. And when the point of me leaving the industry of the company, we could say I either got fired or I left. I don't remember quite sure, because it was long ago, since I was in high school, and I want to forget about certain events and things that happen, and due to what happened to me, I've been bullied through since when I could remember, from up to high school. So that past trauma gave me PTSD, I'm guessing. So I'm trying to not remember those things. And maybe it's, myself trying to protect my own inner self. But we'll see.
In the community itself, but also keep in mind at this point, Ataki still haven't been heard from in well over a month at this point, beyond finding out she was released from the hospital. So, as you can imagine, this is not only extremely upsetting for the fanbase and the VTuber community, but also, once again, a huge alarm going off for Ninja Sanji, as well as what in general is happening here, because at this point we went from a cryptic announcement of being in the hospital to literally being gone from the internet to just being filed with no other communication outside of that. But with that being said, in the termination letter itself, when it comes to the actual music,
I'm guessing there's no communication due to lawyers or the company itself, because let's say company, for example, Ninji Sanji, they have every right of hers. Like, going back to where I was talking, they have every right of her persona, websites, what she involves into her persona character. They stripped it all away. And since she got booted off the company itself, she's lawyering up as well the company. So probably she's trying to get her identity back, or she's recreating her identity to when maybe this is over and she could finally be back, but with slightly similar and new look. What I've seen on Hololive in Japan going to English. And I forgot her name. I believe it was Coco. It was a dragon VTuber that she speaks Japanese and English to Japan to global English. So maybe it's kind of that situation that is going on, but a little worse or about the same. So it's just an idea that I'm brainstorming and cooking at this moment.
Side of that music video, they end up stating here that the material for the music video was shared.
Let's see. The material of the music video were shared for the first time with our management, on December 24th, since some elements in the music video lacked proper authorization. It's Niji Sanji doing. On December 25th, we communicated to Celine, so that the chick of VTube, that permission needed to be obtained. So she needed permission from relevant parties, requiring her to wait before releasing it. Despite this, Celine disregarded the notice and proceeded with the unauthorization posting. So could be like that she had to pay out of pocket, I'm guessing from that wording, and she had to do certain things to get it done, which is fine, which is okay, because she wanted everybody to see. But I'm guessing Niji Sanji already have something to trigger or to stop her, and they don't want none of it, so they're closing in and trying to bring her down to zero. Maybe, I'm just thinking, due to certain circumstances. Let's see.
Time with our amendment on December 28th with debut this. This all makes sense within what we know from the whole copyright thing.
Okay.
Of course, or posting it without the approval
copyright
higher
shit.
up, what seemed to be one of the reasons for for a termination.
I might be mistaken. So
now that we ideally know of why a Taki video got terminated,
that's her name,
as
Taki.
well as one of the reasons for terminating or from the release, there is of course a couple more things in the press release that is very surprising in a lot of ways. And of course, the first of all has to do with why they ended up locking all outer accounts. That is something they ended up doing, as well as privacy all content as well.
That makes sense.
We found out that is mainly because when in communication with and or emergency contact, which is a part that also weighs some alarm, being why would you be talking to emergency contact?
Let's see, in an effort to calm the situation, we sorted to either publicly disclose the reasons of making the music video private, or have Celine Taki disclose them herself, while being mindful of Celine Taki physically and mental health. The management did their best to communicate with not only Celine Taki herself, but also her emergency content. So this is a third party speaking for her behalf or someone's behalf, and it's like maybe scripted. Let's see. Communicate with Celine, her behalf, emergency contact. However, despite frequent communication with Celine Taki, emergency contact, while remaining considerate of her situation, we were unable to come to an agreement on how to proceed. This discussion was made to temporarily remove her access to accounts on various social media platforms. I was right. So Niji Sanji closed her because they couldn't agree. And video distribution service under the name Celine Taki. Okay. So it's like I was saying, the identity, and they are trying to be the mommy, the daddy, or a guardian, and as well being their boss. So whatever they did to take, since they have the master key, they could just log in and wipe everything, or keep her out of it till further notice.
Yep. Ended up not really working out any agreement here, so in return, the outlets such as on Twitter, YouTube, and whatnot ended up being locked, and she lost asset to them as well. And from there, we end up finding out is, of course, it looked like Itaki have also started suing the company itself.
Okay, so she was going for a strike, suing her. Good job. Good on you. Despite our efforts, Celine Taki demanded that any color, so from, I believe, the scratch tickets or whatever partnership that is with Niji Sanji, should be held legally responsible. Okay, fair. She claimed that, third party, she claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a VTuber or virtual livers due to the decisions made by any color, was being harassed by other other VTubers due to mismanagement, etc. Okay, so I was saying that there are probably certain VTubers that are like saying, why you're doing this? You shouldn't be doing that. We're all for the company. And this and that, blah, 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 all that bullshit. So she's like, nah, I'm being real. This company has to change or be forced to change, or I need to do something about it for their honor, or their personal image should go down, and ratings could go down. So she could fix due to whatever it is that they're hiding. She's telling the truth, announcing it to the publicly, and lawyering up as what the other ones. So like what I said before, the two are bumping heads due to honor and personas themselves, and the company of any color and Niji Sanji should be accountable, not accountable, but be accountable due to what they did to her and other VTubers. I'm guessing. It's a theory, and it's, assuming as well as out thinking outside of the box here.
And the reasons that were given within the termination letter, which is of course tied to harassment by other affiliate live, also known as other VTubers, due to management deal. But not only from the knowing
so management
that she ended up in
are
the hospital,
issues too.
wasn't able to use a phone as well to a later date, being locked out of account, as well as of course having negotiated done by emergency contact.
So if it happened to me, I'd just punch their ass.
Lawsuit with them over harassment of the management and other content creator and other affiliate members of NGS. And of course, from all of this, as you probably have gathered, doesn't exactly make Ninja Sanji seem like the best corporation at all. And in return, driving
sounds like a thorn in my side
to the hospital itself. And of course, to put a icing on the cake here, is of course when all this was happening with her account being locked between, of course, this announcement, as well as Ninja Sanji speaking about the lawsuit as well, is of course the thing.
I don't mind talking shit. Hopefully she doesn't either.
Ninja Sanji
don't take shit.
Have not actually filed outside of this announcement of the termination letter. And
Celine Taki, don't take shit. Give them the shit that they deserve.
That, of course,
beat their ass.
Would know about the termination before the release of the document, because let's be honest, if you're suing some company, especially a company that drove you to what we would get to it on the hospital, you would think at that point it would be pretty obvious she would know that she'd been let go, but no. This whole time, as discussion is happening here, of course, she ended up finding out about her termination at the exact same time as everybody else was when they ended up releasing the document out to the public. And with all this happening, and of course with Taki finding out about this while along with everyone else, Taki, lucky enough, still had access to her original VTuber Twitter, which once again was Doki board, and in return hopped onto Twitter from this account and ended up posting, well, all this kind of coming ahead, which is a quote, and I quote here, "I will not be silent anymore. On December, I up a bullying from within and being in a toxic and poor environment a number of months that led to my breaking point. I'm ready to leave, of course, but on more neutral terms on the 26th of January. And at that point,
I thought so. Okay. So my estimate of thinking outside of the box and theorizing that the two companies, Anycolor and Niji Sanji, and her other, I should say, co-workers of VTubers that are bullying, harassing, if they're doing physical harm or mentally harm, that isn't okay. And I hope she's able to kick all their asses at the end. Because if I was in her situation, I wouldn't let it go from that far. I would say day one, if you guys betray me or the company, if you're don't like what I do, get me out right now and then, before I get any bigger or, in that point of thought that, just back up and leave and do your own thing. But at this point, I hope she keeps on fighting. Be a fighter, girl.
It all coming forward is indeed what some people suspected was, of course, a thing to the bullying, the abandonment, the toxicness of everything that, of course, she did take an attempt on her own life. Lucky enough, obviously,
taking her
it
life,
didn't go through, and she, at the time of this,
on fighting.
Well,
don't do that.
At the moment, and actually, gotta help.
Taking your own life, suiciding, don't do it. That's a way of giving up and losing to your enemies, your opponents, giving them the upper hand. You don't want to give them the upper hand. And just keep on fighting. Even the fight is tough. Keep on pushing. You got it. You're almost there to the finish line. Just keep on hustling. Keep on fighting the good fight. And don't let anyone discourage you. And just fight for what's right.
By being hospitalized, and lucky enough, the attempt on her life was not successful. So as you can imagine, at this point, this is pretty much verifying a lot of stuff here as far of what was happening, as well of how bad Niji Sanji is, especially to or a sin that did drive her to suicide and depression. And of course, when all this is happening, Niji Sanji is still also trying to draw under the bus as well. So that's also the other thing to keep in mind.
Did I hear that right? The companies are like, let them devour each other and let them suicide themselves? What the hell is that? What kind of company is that? That's uncalled for. From that type of standpoint, that the company's letting their co-workers devouring each other and make enemies from their own environment, that's not okay. And if the company's saying, yeah, keep doing it, boosting their morale for doing negative things and being toxic against with one another. That ain't good. It's like Sega, kind of doing the same shit from Discord and other social medias that it's official from Sega. Same shit. And they're not doing nothing about it to change their views, to change the ways of doing business. Not improving how they should run and what kind of people they should hire and improve their improve the creators of the IP, excuse me, and the developer teams, improving them as well, improving the work environment around them. I don't see any improvement. What I've seen so far and other people complaining about, Sega's doing the same thing day one from other PSO games. They're following the same trend. Why they don't fix that? As for me, if I was to able to take their IP away, I would change everyone from the head of the snake or the head of the creator of the IP all the way to the person that is doing whatever, wipe them all out and put new faces, new people that business wise, because so far they're slow as hell like molasses and they're not improving certain things. Well, I like to discuss later on the video or next video. I don't know, because due to my circumstances I'm moving a bit slow. I'm pulling out because in real life situation it's a bit hard for me for now, but till it smooths out and I could do a little bit here and there and put a little bit more effort, put more into it, I can do my best. But as of now, going back to
is of course with all of this happening, and of course at this point with the lawsuit that we will get to have not torn, and to have a natural ascent appeal, and of course Sanji heel is of course as elegant as ever with
elegant. Nah, they're stupid.
That down, which in return is what a file into determination as well as the lawsuit that came after heel. So as you can see, like any with all this shit happening and how horrible it was for now being known as a Doki board is so now knowing thanks to the tweet by Doki board as well as determination letter of naming, or not really naming, but heavily implying that not only employees but also VTubers as well was also a part of the harassment towards Doki board at that point. And of course, by bluntly
I figured that out.
When they don't have to, but they still did, because Ninja Sanji and Ninja Sanji is of course this as well a lot of the viewer base for the content creator pretty much just gived up on Ninja Sanji in a lot of ways, which in return mean not only did a lot of people start collecting names of with talent was actually causing the threat that Doki board have went through, but also boycotting the whole cast.
I'll say harass them back. Oh shit, that'll be a mess. But I believe eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
out specifically who was a harasser, if not all. So, and we torn so many of the VTubers themselves, Ninja Sanji should take some time off, and no one knows Sanji a global when it comes to the talent. What has been the relationship with Ninja I get right now, since they horny Ninja Sanji to the ground itself, which is, a very good thing at happening here at our own dreams are doing also with a document that they recently
Okay. So